This is a sturgeon, an ancient prehistoric fish that can live hundreds of years. It is well known for its roe, which you might know as caviar. Caviar is sought out in the restaurant business because of how expensive and luxurious this ingredient is, averaging from $200 to $300 for just a small tin of this stuff. Today, we're going to be redefining the laws of physics and gravity. Not really, but today we're going to be making our own caviar course. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 3 of Fictional Kitchen. This is course 2 and a little dish that I like to call morning dew. Let's get right into this video. The ingredients that we're going to be pairing this dish are going to be cucumbers and fresh mint. This is going to be a nice, refreshing course, and you can tell that these two things are going to pair very well together. All right, so we have our cucumbers and we have our mint. Our very first step is going to be to blend them. So let's do that really quick. We're also going to add in a splash of cold water. All blended up, you can see that nice bright green color. We're going to take this into our makeshift strainer that we have done again. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but we do not want any solids in here. We only want the liquid passing through, which is perfect. Our next step involves adding calcium lactate into water that is cold and then sticking it into the cooler. So that is what we're going to do right now. By the way, these videos take hours to make, film, and edit. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video. It helps me out a lot, it's free, and it lets me know that you enjoy this content. So now we're just gonna weigh out our 2.5 grams, and we have a very nice, very small gram scale for this, and then we're gonna add it and mix it into our water. Nice and simple. All right, so we have our water in this clear pan. We are going to add our calcium into the water, and we're going to stir. We want to mix and make sure that there are no clumps in here. And then the basic science behind this is we're going to have sodium in the water, and then we're going to have our calcium in our puree that we have just made that is a completely clear liquid. And the two of them, when they mix together, will react and create those little spherical balls. Our next step is fairly simple. We can use this giant marshmallow to make our spider webs, or we can use this. This is isomalt. We're gonna see which one works better. I am not entirely sure. This is gonna be an experiment, so let's get right into it. Step 1 for this experiment, heat the pan. Step 2, take your marshmallow, and we're just gonna melt him very softly on the bottom of the pan. I hope this doesn't make like a huge mess. All right, so we've used about half that marshmallow, which is about what we wanted. I mean, like, this looks really cool. Okay, so this is just gonna be a pain in the ass to clean, but if you look at what we have here, this is what we have to work with. We're gonna transfer all of this onto a different type of plate so you can see it. Probably a black plate would look really nice. And we can heat this up ever so slightly and kind of lay the caviar on top of it. It would look really cool. This is isomalt, and for our next step, we're gonna be experimenting with that. All right, first step, we're gonna dump our isomalt into this pan, this saucepan. All right, so this whole first attempt didn't really work because I tried to make it go further by adding sugar, and then I accidentally burned the sugar. So I ended up having to restart because I got like a black liquid and it was terrible. So I dumped it and restarted. And let's see if it works this second time around. All right, this is attempt number 2. And we're gonna do just the isomalt because the sugar burns really easy. That's what the isomalt looks like. All right, so my second attempt actually went pretty well. I melted down the isomalt, and then all I did was add in the food coloring once it hit the proper temperature, and then I let it sit and cool off for just a second, because I realized if you don't let it cool off, it won't mold the correct way. But it also is super hot, and I burned myself like 6 times, so that's fantastic. Yeah, there's not much else to it. And now we're just gonna pour the isomalt over this bowl, and we're gonna get like this really cool bowl-like structure. It's gonna be really neat if it works correctly. I'm hoping it does, but we're gonna see what happens. Our next step is to add in our sodium into our clear liquid. Yay! It worked. That was after going through our filtration system for about 4 hours. Because I don't quite like the color, I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this. Just a couple drops that we're going to add in with the sodium. I just got this thing off of the bowl, and I cannot believe how good that looks. That's incredible. That's so much better than I thought it was gonna look. All right, we have our dewdrop. All right, it's time for the big reveal. We are going to use this guy right here, and we're gonna drop some of our liquid. As you can see, we have it in here. And slowly. Alright, so this is my very first attempt of trying to make caviar. Ended up not getting some of the ratios right, so I had to do it again. And this time, I absolutely nailed it, spot on, and it ends up turning out really nicely. So I'm going to just show you the very finished product. I decided to combine all the elements, and after a little bit of photo editing, this is what this turned out to look like. And just like that, we have our second course down. I will catch you all in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.